Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today, decided to do a little video after my last video I just did. I'm doing like a little double thing today. And it's kind of funny that it all worked out this way, because my last video was 5 reasons not to buy a cordless tool from Harbor Freight, and we're switching gears. And today's video is 5 tools that professionals could and should be using. Now, I'm not just going to show you 5 pictures of 5 tools, or show you a tool that I checked out and did a review on one time, or anything like that. I'm going to show you 5 tools that I have in my toolbox at work that I've used for the minimum of at least 1 year. And I have the actual tools here with me, so we're going to actually take a look at those tools, and I'm going to tell you how they perform for me. Now, this list is just from my own experience, so if you had a different experience, let me know down in the comments. If I don't have a tool on here that you think I should, leave it down in the comments. So let's go ahead and start off and get this thing going. Coming in at number 5 here is these Vulcan welding gloves. As you can see here, I put some work on these, and they've held up really good. I use them for torching, cutting, everything, and they've held up really good. They have no holes in them. These are about 14 months old, I think, 12 months old, something exactly. I'm not sure exactly when I bought these, but they have been used a lot. And I think these were like $19.99, but you can use, I think, a Vulcan accessories coupon and get 20% off or 30% off or something. So these here can definitely be used professionally. They are very good quality. They've held up. I've used cheap gloves before, and they'll split out and tear up really easy, and I have put in a lot of work on these, and they've held up very, very well. So I definitely recommend, if you're looking for a pair of welding gloves, cutting gloves, torching gloves, go ahead and get these right here. You won't regret it. Coming in at number 4 here is this Pittsburgh Pro Breaker Bar. Now, I have used this a lot. And I mean, when I say a lot, I'm talking about I've had a pipe on the end of this thing, standing on the pipe, and have never broke it, not one time. I've had this for well over a year, and it's my go-to. It really works. It feels good. It has a lot of power to it. I mean, the strength is really high, and it's a great tool, especially for the money. I definitely recommend getting this right here if you're looking for a good breaker bar that is not going to kill you on the price. I want to say $19.99, and may be able to get a coupon for it, but even for $20, this thing, you can't go wrong. Now, they do also have one without the comfort grip, and you can use the coupon on that for like $9.99, and that one is good too. But myself, I like the comfort grip. It's my soft hands, I guess. But this right here, this is a really good tool that can be used professionally and used well and will last a long, long time. Coming in at number 3 is the Daytona Jack. Now, I bought this thing around 2.5 years ago, and I have used it a bunch of times. I can't even tell you how many times. Now, the reason I bought it is because I actually had the Pittsburgh gray 2 or 3 ton jack, and I still have that jack to this day. But I had to replace some U-bolts on the back of my truck, and I went to go try to jack it up, get it off the ground. It was raised too high. So I went and got the Daytona, because the amount you can jack up is like 4 inches more on the Daytona than the Pittsburgh. Now, this Daytona here, this is professional quality. I mean, you can look at any review on the internet, any review on YouTube, and everybody will swear by this thing, and I swear by this thing. I feel completely comfortable using it. I'm not afraid it's going to give out on me. It is an excellent jack, especially for the money. Comes in, I think, $179, and you can catch it on sale, or maybe that's a sale price, but even for $200, you cannot beat this jack. It is an excellent, excellent jack. I definitely recommend, if you're looking for a good professional quality jack, to get this jack. Now, surprisingly, coming in at number 2 is the Harbor Freight tool cart and toolboxes. Now, the tech carts and everything, I wouldn't use those professionally. They are not built as good as the other ones. But the 5-drawer tool cart, the 72-inch box, the 44-inch box, the 56-inch box, they are professional quality toolboxes. I have the 5-drawer tool cart that I did a video on modifying that. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll put a link up top. Go check it out. And I have the 72-inch box here, and I have the 56-inch box at work. So I've liked this thing enough to where I've invested around $2,000 total in these 3 boxes. And you compare that to buying one 72-inch Snap-on box, Matco box, and you know how much money you're saving. If you've ever seen those toolboxes, you know how much money I've saved. And these do essentially the same thing. They're definitely not as good a quality, but they do the same thing, and they can hold up to professional use. Now, the reason I don't have these at number 1 is because of this trim here. Now, ever since I first got this box, this trim has it keeps getting caught on these sliding locks on the drawers. So it has been a problem from day one until eventually it just ripped off. But that's not a big deal. Now, the 50s, and I just use this 72-inch box at home, so it doesn't get a whole lot of abuse. But the 56-inch box I have at work, I have put that through the ringer. I'm constantly moving it, constantly bumping into stuff, constantly dropping stuff on it, constantly just tearing it up, and it's held up strong. The only complaint I have, and I don't even really consider it a complaint, is the locking mechanism on one of the drawers has fell off. But that's not that big of a deal to me. With the 56-inch box particularly, you're not moving a box that big that often. So as far as the drawers locking, that's not a big deal to me. Now, the tool carts, I do like the fact that the drawers lock because you're moving that. It's a mobile tool station. For the money and for the quality, to me, you can't beat these toolboxes, and that's why I have them ranked at number 2. Now, coming in at number 1 might surprise you a little bit, but it is just simply these Harbor Freight Pittsburgh impact sockets, and even the extensions. Now, believe me when I tell you that these here are the best impact sockets I have ever used in my life. And not only have the ones that I've gotten turned out good for me, but anybody I know that has gotten these sockets loves them. They last. A friend of mine has had a set for, I think, 4, 5, 6 years or something, he said. And he said he's broke one the whole time. Now, I brought this one in. This is 1 1/8" socket. I have used this one right here, I guarantee you, over 100,000 times at work. And I'm not talking about just taking off a bolt. I'm talking about heating bolts up to the point of almost liquefying the metal, completely just abusing these things, standing on them, beating on them, hitting them with hammers, tearing them up, and this thing has never broke one time in over 2 years. I have 3 different sets of these, and they come in at $24.99, and you can get a coupon to drop them down to $19.99. And you compare that to a set of Snap-on impact sockets around $220 or so, and you can buy 11 of these for one set. And these right here, I promise you, no matter what level you are in life, what you do for a living, how much you use them, these right here will never let you down. And if they do, they're really cheap and they're a lifetime warranty. So you cannot beat these right here. Now, I'm like a heavy industrial mechanic of sorts. I actually repair and rebuild huge caster machines in a steel mill. So these machines are around 30 to 40 tons each that I rebuild. So they take a lot of bolts, and they come back, they're rusty, they've been heated, they go through a lot. So I need good sockets like this because they will tear up. And between this one and my 15/16, they are my most used sockets. And I promise you, at least over 100,000 times, this socket has been used, beat on, abused, and it's never once failed me. So that's why these are my #1 tool that should and could be used by professionals from Harbor Freight.